All right. Today message is in order to have happiness in your life, we have to be happy for others. What does that mean? So, let's give you an example. If you're not married and you see somebody is married, you should be happy for them. If they are struggling or going through, you should pray for them. You shouldn't be jealous or envy or say, "Oh, that's what they get," or be like, "Man, you know what? I'm never gonna get married," or anything like that. Or I mean, if you're looking for a job and somebody else has one, or somebody gets a job, I mean, you should be happy for them. You know, and God always looks at us and we talk about examine ourselves. Even if you feel like you're more qualified than that person, you should be happy for them. We should be happy for others. Even our enemies, when God blesses them, that's how you truly have happiness and peace, because your peace and joy should be in God, not in this world, and it shouldn't be. Ephesians 3:20. Now to him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us. Ephesians 3:7. It says, I have became a servant. So we have a choice of the gospel by the gift of God's grace given through me, the working of his power. So when we choose to be a servant, God will work his power through us. Ephesians 3:2. Surely you have heard about the stewardship of God's grace that was given to me or for you. So we have to be good stewards over the grace that God has given us. So that means we just don't take it for granted, or we just go ahead and do this because we have grace and mercy. When we know better, we do better. And one thing I learned is what God showed me about, having joy, and we know that the joy of the Lord is our strength, is to be happy for others, to thank God for others, because if that happens, then God is obviously about to do something for you as well, because God is not a respecter of persons. Romans 12:3. For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but think of yourselves with sober judgment according to the measure of faith God has given you. So God doesn't want us to be, conceited. God wants us to not think of ourselves highly or better than somebody else. Sometimes we do fall into that, where we feel like we're better than this person or anything like that, and they don't deserve God's grace and mercy or God's blessing. I mean, we don't never know the whole story. We only know part of it, or just a little bit of what we see from the outside looking in. Romans 2:10. But glory, honor, and peace for everyone who does good. Now that's what God says in the Word, verse 11. For God does not show favoritism. Acts 10:34. Then Peter began to speak. I now truly understand that God does not show favoritism. But just imagine though, we're talking about like jealousy and envy. Just imagine being jealous of a person that is doing evil, or getting money wickedly. Being jealous of somebody like that, when I mean, it's just awesome to just sit and just listen to God's wisdom and just show you. Psalm 37:4. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and rescues them. Encamps means settle in or establish a camp, especially a military one. So you can have an angel on guard with you at all times. Verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good, and how blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. Psalms 37:1. Do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. Envy is a feeling of discontent or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions or qualities. So that's why God said we shouldn't envy anybody. But like I was saying, imagine that you envying somebody that is doing it the wrong way. Man. Verse 2. So we're in Psalms 37, verse 2. For they will wither quickly like grass and fade like green herb. Verse 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way, because the man who carries out wicked schemes. So there are people that are going to prosper because they do evil. Some people, as they call it, sell your soul to the devil and do whatever you can to get money, for the love of money, But God is saying, don't even be envious or jealous of them. Don't even worry about it. Psalms 3:31. Do not envy a man of violence, and do not choose any of his ways. So that's what God is saying. Do not choose any of his ways. But again, God is no respecter of persons. So if somebody is being blessed, you should be happy for them. Even if you don't know that a person is doing it evilly, or doing it wickedly, we should be definitely happy for them. We should be happy for others, and that's how we'll truly have happiness. I mean, because we always say, we want others to be happy for us. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be some people that are not happy for us, that are going to be jealous. And even if, you've been at that job longer than them, and I've seen people be jealous. They have more money than you. They have more possessions than you. I mean, I've even seen it. Like, I was never one to sell drugs. But, God has shown me people that, that sold drugs, and the person that they worked for was actually jealous or envy of them. And I'm just like, wow, even in that sense, and even at work, God has shown me even in the corporate world, when a person's boss, is jealous of them or envy of them, and they the one really in charge, so they treat them a certain way, man. And just have to pray for them. And, when God does something for them, you just be happy, or just say, Lord, thank you. But again, your happiness is not tied into, what happens around you or people or anything like that. Your happiness is in God, and God to take care of it. And again, it says, you can have an angel encamped around you, and, God is going to protect you and rescue you. So again, like I said, that's going to probably get into part 2 tomorrow. Talking about happiness and joy and how to enjoy life. And that's what God wants us to enjoy. Because, I mean, there's some things that life is going to throw at us that we're going to go through. But a lot of it, I tell people all the time, you control your happiness, So, again, that's what it talks about. If a person chooses to be envious or jealous of somebody else, I mean, they're, contributing to the chaos in their life, or the unhappiness. When God said the joy of the Lord is in Him. So definitely hope you catch that. Just pray that you definitely have a blessed day, and you go through life, and you understand that you can really truly have happiness. And again, there will be some people that's not happy for you, but there will be some people that are happy for you. Not everyone is a hater. So just want to say thank you and God bless.